Hey everybody, what's up? We're here with the Timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Two of Wands. In this Two of Wands, what is calling my attention is the transparency of this hand. It kind of feels like an invisible hand behind something where there's some type of plan, there's something here that's unfolding, but because of this transparency, it feels almost like an invisible hand that's doing this. So we have Two of Wands, and I'm also seeing Ace of Wands as well. You know actually what this feels like? It feels like this is what you can see, and it's an Ace of Wands, but there's other stuff behind it that feels like it hasn't come into play yet. It feels like there's a whole plan about this, but that you're only being presented with only part of what this is. You haven't seen the whole thing yet. You haven't seen the whole plan. You don't know all of this that's going on. You just see this thing right here. So Ace of Wands will be an option, an opportunity. It can be, as I commonly see it, as a door that's opening, a door that's available, a door that's unlocked, that you can choose to go through if you want to. So you kind of see that the portal in that moment, or the opportunity in that moment. I'm also hearing the word sanction. So yeah, it feels like there's an invisible hand. It feels like there's a whole plan, but instead of you seeing like all of the ingredients, it feels like you're just being presented with the main ingredient here. This is something big because I'm seeing the Emperor here, and so we have Ace of Wands, we have Two of Wands, and then we have the Three of Wands. Okay. Having the Emperor looking at this Ace of Wands, this is feeling like you, and you're seeing this thing that's being presented to you. But I do feel again like there's like this is kind of behind it. And so you're just seeing that the front end of something. You don't know what's sort of behind it, or you're just tasting the main ingredient, but you don't know what else is really in there. Having the Emperor be here, this means that there is a certain way that you want to approach this, or a certain thing that you can apply this to within your life. When we have the energy of the Emperor, this is about you being organized. This is about you playing the tape to the end. This is about you thinking about what's best for you, not just in this moment, but also long term. If you take this on, how will this impact things? Is this something that you can build with? Is there an element of longevity to it? Is this something that can help you make progress, or something that can be a stepping stone? Can it be something that is beneficial to you, or rather is it something that you feel would hold you back? So that can be the question. The Emperor is, you look at something and you ask yourself, can I build with that? What can I do with that? Where does this piece go? Do I want to use it? Can I use this to get there? It even feels like you're in the middle of doing something, and then the Ace of Wands appears, and you have the option to include that with what you already have going on. So if you're in the middle of a process, and it does seem like you are, this other thing that you can use over here, it even is feeling like a resource, becomes available and sort of taps you on the shoulder. So you're in the middle of something, and this thing comes along, And it's like, okay, this is available now for you to use, and you get to decide whether or not you want to use that. I'm seeing you go from something that, you know, when there are seasonal places that we can go to, and then when the season's over, it's kind of abandoned. I'm seeing something that had a thriving season, but then the season came to an end, and now it's kind of desolate. And I'm seeing you go to the next seasonal thing here. Because this Eight of Cups going into the Page of Pentacles feels like this is done now, like the season is finished. And so you have to figure out where you're going to next. And this looks so lush. So moving in this direction. Because of the Pentacles being here, this means that you going in this direction, it's kind of like a bit of a new page that you're stepping into. Interesting, because it's a page. It's like a new leaf that you're turning over. So you're getting into something. The season's over, you're switching seasons, you're getting into the next seasonal thing here with the Page of Pentacles. Because it feels like that's where the energy is taking you. It feels like that's where the season is guiding you. And you don't really have to look around too hard to notice that. You can just feel it. You can observe that. And your feelings will also coincide with this too. Like the feel from this will coincide. Like you kind of look around and you see that nobody's there anymore. And then, or like nothing is there anymore, however you want to be seeing it. And you realize that it's time to go to, the season's over, you know? You know that feeling when you go somewhere and you know what it's like when there's the heartbeat in the middle of it versus something being over, and it's that feeling of like emptiness, almost this like strange, empty, nostalgic feeling of like the tumbleweed going by, or something feeling like it gets this kind of blue to it. Almost like lacking that sense of energy. So I'm seeing you move now in the direction of something where there is that sense of energy and also interest and intrigue and potential too when you go that way. Because if it's the beginning of a season, it can feel like you get to see the whole rest unfolding of things. It's not, you're not in the end anymore. You were in the end before, and now you're going to the next thing. And making this move because you feel it on behalf of you and on behalf of what you're sensing, what you're tuning into. It does feel like a very in touch, natural flow rhythm of things. Like you're hearing the music of nature and of the energy and of the seasons, and that's what you're following the tune of. Shifting along to it. Okay, Ace of Swords is there as well, which feels like things are becoming clarified now. This seasonal shift can be a little bit in the works, where I'm seeing a bit of a migration happening. So at the beginning, there can be a little bit of a transition that's occurring. This is part of the plan. I wonder too if that's why the Two of Wands is coming through in that way, where sometimes when the season is over, before we realize that it's just that the season is over, there are all of those feelings of like, no, I didn't want it to be over yet, or I'm not accepting that it's over yet, or is it really time for that to be happening? There can be all of these things where we feel like something is going wrong and that's not what's supposed to be happening. And that's what it feels like with the Two of Wands above, where there's that invisible hand moving things around, that cosmic energy that is that when the thing that you're feeling, you're right on track with this, or what you're not feeling any longer, and it's telling you to move along and it's telling you what to do. So it feels like just reinforcing that that is what you're tuning into, that is what you're picking up on. And so you're moving towards the Ace of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, which feels exciting, and there is that lush, abundant feeling to it, and there is that excitement of potential. And this just feels like something that will stack on top of what you already have going on with the Emperor and the Ace of Swords. With the Emperor and the Ace of Swords, you can feel like you are having a breakthrough in a very important area of your life. This can be many different areas of your life. Your Emperor is about the big stuff that you have going on, the big, important, significant stuff that you have going on currently. So all of the most important stuff that matters to you. And the Emperor can also be about your purpose. Like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Is this part of things? Is that part of things? Is this something that I want to take? Is that an offer that I want to go towards? So these questions where when we're trying to figure out, what do I build on top of this next? Because the Emperor is the energy of the architect. And this feels like you are getting insight into the next elements of the blueprint now. So that's what I'm seeing be going on here. But at first there could have been a question about this, like, is the season really ended? Am I meant to transition? Is this the thing that I'm meant to transition towards? And then it feels like a confirmation of this. You see the blueprint, you know that everything is falling into place now, and then that's sort of the thing that you accept in. There are things about the plan that you don't know yet, that I'm almost seeing you try to figure out, but you're not supposed to know this yet. The invisible hand is at work here. I'm seeing Two of Wands be connected with Seven of Cups. You can be like, what's going on? What's supposed to happen? I'm not seeing really, really far down the line. You're only supposed to see what's right in front of you. You're not being given more information than you need to have, and there can be a part of you that now you're like confused, feeling confused, confusing yourself because you're like, why didn't they give me the whole rest of the blueprint? You just need to know what you need to know. You're not going to be given more information than that because you don't need it. You're only given what you need. So yeah, there can be a part of you that's like, well, I know that I'm supposed to go here. You didn't even step there yet. And you're like, but what about after that? And what about after that? And it's like, you didn't even take that first step yet. You need to just follow the rules here and go where you're supposed to be going. And you know that because of what you're feeling and what you're tuning into. You know where to step. But I definitely get this. Well, what's going to be happening down there? And your guides, like, just focus on what's right in front of you. You don't need to see what's going on down there. It's just going to confuse the process. So that's why. So if you're over here, like, searching for more insight about what's happening down there, because you're being shown what's happening right here, right in front of you. I'm seeing this. It's like you're not looking at what's in front of you and you're trying to look far, far, far in the distance. And your guides are like, can you please just watch where you're going right now? We need you to, like, not fall off the edge of this. Like, please just pay attention to where your feet are going with a sense of immediacy. But I'm definitely seeing this vibe here of being like, well, what's going to happen down there? And your guides being like, you don't need to worry about that. If it was information that you needed to know that would be beneficial to you right now, it would be given to you. It feels like making a problem out of something that's not a problem, or being like, this should make sense, shouldn't it? But it's not supposed to. Like, you're not supposed to have that information yet, and that's why it's not being given to you. So you can be looking for it and then getting confused about it, like trying to fit pieces places they're not supposed to go. It's just because you're not supposed to have that information yet. You're not meant to, and so you won't, and that's why. But it's not meant to, that nothing is wrong. Everything is actually exactly right. It's you thinking that you should have that is incorrect, because it's not time for that to be happening. When you need to know what you need to know, you will, always. When you need the next sign, it is always right there. Always right there next to you. So if there's stuff that you're trying to figure out and you don't know the information, it's because you're not meant to. You will always know the information when you are meant to know. And there's stuff that you don't need to be thinking about, you don't need to be worrying about, and you don't need to be trying to figure out. It's just what's right in front of you, and that being clear and that being obvious. Because I'm seeing something that you have. So it's not like you don't know what to do right now in this moment, but you're like, well, what am I supposed to do down there? But you're not down there yet, so you don't need to worry about it. I feel like that's it. We're good. This is just getting off the ground. Leave it time. There's so much. We don't know what's going to be happening yet. You don't need to know what's going to happen. This is the thing to do right now. This is the thing to focus on right now. Where it's going to go, you're going to see things unfold. There's still, this can mean too, sometimes there are lots of different reasons why we're not given information sometimes. This feels like there's still undecided stuff that's why you're not being given solid information about things. Having to do with this process. This is just, you know what to do, throw yourself into this, let yourself be present to that. Because this worrying about, thinking about, focusing, trying to see over the top of the hill right now when you're not even at the top of it, it's everything that takes you away from being present to the process. Be here right now with this. That will give you the sense of clarity that you need. And that is what is going to, that is the thing that's being suggested here for you right now. There's definitely stuff that's unfolding that is going to be made more clear, that hasn't totally come into play yet just because it's not time, but there's more. There's definitely more here that I'm seeing that is going to be unfolding when it's meant to. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.